What's up, you guys? Big J MMA in the building. How are you guys doing? So, these are gonna be my UFC White House card, full card predictions. Last card, I went 9-3. Actually, the only fights I got wrong were Belal Muhammad in the main event. Then I think I got the Chelsea Chandler fight. I got that one wrong. And obviously, I picked Fares Yan. I had a lot of parlays on him too. So that went well. But it's okay. It's okay. We'll try to bounce back with the White House predictions. And I guess 9-3 is still a good prediction set. I got a lot of predictions right. And yeah, but I'm very confident in these predictions. I'm gonna say who I'm extremely confident in and who are my locks. But hey, let's get straight into it. This is gonna be insane. One of the greatest events in UFC history. I'm hyped. I'm looking very much forward to watching these fights, making a lot of money on these fights because these are easy pickings and easy money. So guys, let's get straight into it with the first fight, which is Diego Lopes against Steve Garcia. We have Diego Lopes soon to be fighting Volkanovski for the third time after he gets it done against Steve Garcia. But no, actually guys, the stylistic breakdown. We have Steve Garcia on a 6 or... grown man talking about 6-7. 6 or 7 fight win streak with I think 6 KOs out of 7. And then we have Diego Lopes, former title challenger, only really lost to Movza in his debut and 2 times against Volk. And I mean, no shame in losing against Volk. But he's taking on a different stylistic matchup in Steve Garcia, who is long and rangy, really powerful, likes to go after it. But what we have seen from Steve Garcia is that if you can put him on his back, when he's maybe overextending, he does not have the greatest grappling. He is not a fish out of water, but he's struggling on the ground, especially considering he's fighting Diego Lopes, who likes to take his opponents down when they are overextending, just like Gene Silva, who just span around, took him down, and really beat him up in the first round. In that way, Diego Lopes is getting way better. Diego Lopes, as counter-striking, he does not track his opponents down well, so Volkanovski was kind of doing very good in that way, being in and out, moving around, and that is where Diego Lopes struggled. Guys, I'm going to be honest, Diego Lopes is, in my opinion, one of the biggest locks on this card. In my opinion, he should be a way bigger favorite because there is no, I'm going to say that now, there is no way that Steve Garcia beats Diego Lopes. Diego Lopes is going to definitely finish Steve Garcia. He's either going to take him down, go straight into mount or take the back and finish him in the first round if he overextends. Maybe Diego Lopes gets rocked in this fight. We have seen him get rocked, but I think that Diego Lopes matured in the Volkanovski fight. He got a lot of octagon time with very little damage that he took. He improved in his striking. He got a very good chin. He can be outstruck and you can land on him, but in order to knock him out, you have to have really great power because Gene Silva landed flush on him, and he couldn't really even knock him down. So Diego Lopes in this fight is gonna eat the biggest shots, and he's gonna finish Steve Garcia either by countering him with a overhand, which I can really see, or just take him down while Steve Garcia is overextending. And then, I'm gonna take Diego Lopes by round 1 TKO. Now guys, second fight of the night, we have Bo Nickal against Kyle Daukaus. Now guys, this matchup is actually kind of close. I think most people will pick Bo Nickal, but I kind of like the underdog of Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus has great striking, he has very improved striking with power. He's dangerous. I think he's more dangerous if you really pressure him and throw caution to the wind. But I think that on the feet this is gonna be kind of equal. I see Kyle Daukaus doing well with kicks and his jab at maybe the 1-2. Bo Nickal is getting better on the feet. He can hang with Kyle Daukaus definitely. He has the experience advantage though. If Bo Nickal goes in with his game plan to mix it up and strike and then chase the takedowns, I think that he can do a great job. I hope he isn't too afraid of the submission game of Kyle Daukaus, because Kyle Daukaus, I think his nickname is something like the Dark Knight, or that is actually I think Luke's nickname. Oh no, he just gets called that. But Kyle Daukaus has a great submission game. He is kind of dangerous. But I like Bo Nickal in this fight. I think he's gonna chain wrestle here. I think Kyle Daukaus will have difficulties with the chain wrestling because he's kind of long and lanky. Bo Nickal has to watch out for the submissions, and what I'm afraid of is the Paul Craig fight was kind of similar in the sense that his opponent was tall and rangy, and Paul Craig can fluke submissions very well. And I think that Bo Nickal got into that matchup thinking that it's easier to just outstrike Paul Craig, which he did. He did easily outstrike Paul Craig and win that way, not having to risk getting submitted. But in this fight he can't be afraid of the takedowns, because on the feet I think that Kyle Daukaus does have the slight edge. But yeah, Bo Nickal has good overhands, and I think in this fight Bo Nickal grappled at a very high level, and if he uses that, he will win this fight. But I can see him getting outstruck for maybe one round and failing some takedowns and being stuck on the feet. I think Bo Nickal is gonna get a takedown in the first round, very early as well, when they are still dry. He's gonna kind of dominate that round, not a 10-8, but clearly win that round. I think the second will be the close round, where Bo Nickal might get a takedown at the end of the round, but get outstruck in the beginning of the round maybe. And then I think Kyle Daukaus will take over the third, and people are gonna call robbery. But I think that Bo Nickal is gonna win this fight by a close decision. I don't think it's gonna be easy. I think it's gonna be a hard-fought decision, but I do think Bo Nickal is gonna get it done. He's more promising. So yeah. Now guys, let's talk about this fight here. We have Mauricio Rufy against Michael Chandler. By the way, I'm recording the rest of the video in my car. It's more chill here. But yeah, Rufy against Chandler. The UFC did Chandler dirty with this one. Hey, he's fighting on the White House card, but he's fighting the closest thing to Prime McGregor. Michael Chandler wanted McGregor, and he got the closest thing to him. But yeah, Prime Rufy against Michael Chandler. 40-year-old Michael Chandler. This is a complete mismatch. Mauricio Rufy is a sniper. He has insane striking. One of kind of top 3 striker in the lightweight division. He's very elite. He just knocked out Rafael Fiziev. And now he's taking on washed Michael Chandler. Now I think in this fight Michael Chandler is going to come out aggressive. He's going to try to take down Mauricio Rufy. He's going to swing overhands, and I think he's going to expand a lot of energy. Mauricio Rufy, he received his loss against Saint Denis, and I think it was a big learning lesson for him. So even if Chandler takes him down, which I think will happen, I think Chandler will actually get on the hips of Rufy. He will pick him up, slam him. But I think that Rufy will build up, because Chandler does not have the same control as, let's say, BSD. So I think that Chandler is going to be forced to kind of stay on the feet with Rufy, at least for some time. and after that, he will maybe continue to shoot takedowns. But what we've seen from Chandler is that he is likely to gas in fights, and I think that he will get hurt in the first round. Ruffy has good instincts to finish someone, but I think that Chandler is kind of tough. Chandler is not the type to get finished immediately, so I think that he will survive the first round. Maybe get hurt, but yeah, I think that ultimately in round 2, there's going to be a time where Ruffy just finds the perfect shot. And I think in this fight, it's going to be like in the textbook. Step back, counter. What stands is physio? Oh, okay. Step back, counter left hand. I think he will do like a maybe McGregor against Aldo. I think he really will recreate that. He will just look like Prime McGregor, and he will catch Michael Chandler as he's throwing a overhand with a counter left hand, put Michael Chandler face first and finish him up. And I think Chandler might retire after this. I think he will retire, get this moment on the mic. He had a great career. This is sounding like a funeral speech, but guys, tell me, does anyone actually pick Michael Chandler in this fight? I don't think so. I think Ruffy's gonna get it done. KO. McGregor, I like Mauricio Rufy, one of my favorite fighters. I doubted him against Fiziev, but he's for real. I am back on the hype train. I love Ruffy since he had his debut against Beloki, and I think he has the X factor. He's elite. I like Ruffy. He's gonna get it done. I think second round TKO against Michael Chandler. Now, guys, we have Josh Harkett against Derrick Lewis. Heavyweight bout. This is gonna be insane. First of all, what a disgrace that did they really cut Harkett from the press conference? Do they not realize that Harkett made the first press conference interesting? This is where Harkett shines, on a press conference. I don't know if it's true that they cut him. America has not freedom of speech. America is supposed to be free, and Harkett can't even trash talk his opponents and say what he wants. That is a disgrace, but they can't steal his performance. He's gonna get in this octagon. Derrick Lewis is always dangerous. He's a counter striker. That is something that some people don't know. Derrick Lewis is actually a counter striker. He likes to counter you with power. And he's always dangerous. Derrick Lewis is always there to get a KO. And most of Derrick Lewis's opponents kind of outstrike him and shoot small takedowns. But I think in this fight, Derrick Lewis genuinely has to put away Harkett immediately, because what I think that Harkett is going to do, Harkett is going to go into range immediately. Not into range, but be on Lewis immediately like he does in every fight. And I think that immediately he's going to shoot a blast takedown, because against Freeman, who is actually quite a good wrestler, I think he trains with Daniel Cormier, he also immediately shot on Freeman. Just to not waste any time and get straight on the hips. And I think against Lewis, who is just a fat heavyweight, I think he's even less skilled than Freeman. He has no ability on the ground. He just curls up in a ball, does nothing. And I think that he can't deal with the pressure of Harkett. Derrick Lewis is going to try to counter Lewis. I think he's gonna overextend. Maybe he will throw an uppercut, because Lewis is actually experienced. He has experience and he has power. So he may throw an uppercut, but even then he has to really knock out Harkett, because I think that even if Harkett gets rocked, I think he will shoot for the legs and get his takedown, because he has more will than Lewis. And I just hope that Hokit is smart, because staying on the feet with Lewis, Hokit does not have good defense. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Hokit does not have good defense. I fear for him even in this matchup, but also moving up the rankings. There are people waiting, like, I think actually against Volkov he has I think I would pick him against Volkov. But stylistic matchups like Pavlovich and Pereira, he could just take him down. But even against Gan, against Pavlovich, I think that maybe Hokit would, have problems, because if he can't get the knockout and if he can't really put a pace on someone, I fear for him in this matchup. And I think there may be some time where Hokit gets knocked out. But I think against Lewis he will just shoot a football takedown immediately on the hips, and from there he's gonna be relentless under pressure, just smothering Lewis. And that is the style that Lewis hates, just a relentless pressure, and he's gonna cardio mock Lewis immediately. Give me Hokit by first round TKO. I just hope he doesn't get slimed out, because that would be so bad for the heavyweight division. We have Hokit, who is a trash talker, who is actually very promising at 28 years old, very quick, a lot of power. I think he could just hurt Lewis immediately and shoot on the legs. I just hope he doesn't brawl. Baranowski didn't brawl. He took a smart approach against a one-dimensional fighter like Tafa, and I hope that another promising prospect like Hokit is gonna be as smart. Is gonna be looking just to take Lewis down and finish him immediately. Give me Hokit by a first round TKO. And let's get on to the next fight, which is Sugar Sean O'Malley against Ayman Zahabi. Yeah, bro, 38-year-old Canadian prospect. Who does the UFC want to win? The 38-year-old Canadian prospect who no one cares about? Or Sean Sugar O'Malley, who every young guy just loves Sean O'Malley. Every young white guy, at least. But yeah, Sean O'Malley, elite striker, against Ayman Zahabi, good striker. I'm gonna keep these very short. We have Sean O'Malley, who uses his length very well. He is an elite striker. He makes every fight competitive. And the way to beat him is if you present a takedown threat and try to outstrike him. But I think that the Song Yadong performance is actually very impressive. I think Song Yadong is really good. You have to be top 5 material to beat him. And if you do not pose a takedown threat to Sean O'Malley, you are cooked. And Ayman Zahabi, he has a ground game, but he doesn't shoot takedowns. I think that in his whole career, UFC career at least, he only shot one takedown. He is on a big win streak, and what I can say about Ayman Zahabi is that he's very tough. He is very tough. He has some power. He is a good striker. He's actually a very good striker, but not on the level of Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley busted up Song Yadong in the third round, made him bleed, busted him up, and I think he's gonna do the same to Zahabi. I think he may drop Zahabi, but Sean O'Malley is just similar to Rufi. He's a one-punch guy. He does not really have insane combos. Sean O'Malley tries to snipe you, which could happen to Zahabi. I think he's going to get sniped sometimes in his fight, and I think he may get dropped. But I think he's very tough, and I think he will survive to a decision, because he's a good kickboxer. Still, he's smaller than Sean O'Malley. He has a big reach disadvantage. Bro, there was nearly an accident right in front of me. Crazy shit. People can't drive, I guess. But yeah, Sean O'Malley, way better striker, better reach. And I think he should be a bigger favorite. Guys, I'm gonna make a lot of money betting on these fights. This is gonna be free money. There is no way Sean O'Malley gets outstruck by Ayman Zahabi. Ayman Zahabi, in my opinion, lost to Chito Vera. Chito Vera stole this fight, in my opinion. He won 2 rounds out of the 3. And you see what Sean O'Malley did to Chito Vera. Chito had no chance. So even if Ayman Zahabi tries to put a pace on Sean O'Malley, that leaves more openings to Sean to snipe him. If he pressures Sean O'Malley and doesn't respect his power, he's gonna get slapped. If he tries to be technical with Sean O'Malley, he's gonna get outstruck. So yeah, give me Sean O'Malley being on a 2-fight win streak again. And you know, even if it's a decision, this will be enough for the UFC to give him a title shot. Sean O'Malley will get the title back. I'm rooting for him. Sean O'Malley is my guy, one of my favorite fighters in the whole UFC, and I look forward to him beating Ayman Zahabi and getting his title shots. Yes, so far we have Diego Lopez by finish or just decision. He could also win a decision. Lopez is gonna win that shit. Bo Nickel is gonna win a decision, in my opinion. Then you have Rufi by KO, Hockett by KO, Sean O'Malley by a brutal decision. I actually think he is gonna get a 10-8 round in one of these rounds, and in my opinion, it's gonna be the 3rd round, where he just catches Ayman Zahabi with something big. But yeah, this is the co-main event already. We have Alex Pereira against Cyril Gane. There is some weird stuff going on in the UFC. Guys, I actually think there is a possibility that this is gonna be for the undisputed heavyweight title. This is gonna be a prediction by me, but I read an article that Tom Aspinall, who is managed by Eddie Hearn tries to get Tom Aspinall out of the UFC. And what would be a better time than before the White House to make this for the undisputed title? This would be such a shame, because we had Ngannou, who left the UFC, who is still an elite heavyweight, who would, in my opinion, he would even beat Gane. I think Francis Ngannou against something like Alex Pereira would be insane. Guys, just imagine a world where we would have, in the heavyweight division, Alex Pereira, Cyril Gane, John Jones, Tom Aspinall, and Francis Ngannou. That would be the top 5. Or, with someone as the champion, you have Stipe Pavlovich. That would be insane, an insane heavyweight division. Instead, we still have a very good fight in Alex Pereira against Cyril Gane. Interesting stylistic matchup. Guys, I just hope that the winner gets to fight Tom Aspinall, because that fight would be insane. But this is very interesting in itself. You see the height on both of them the same. I think frame-wise, Cyril Gane will be the bigger fighter. But this is ultimately, in my opinion, going to be a fight on the feet. I don't really see Cyril Gane shooting. He may try to clinch with Pereira, but I don't think so. Cyril Gane likes to have his distance, strike in the distance. And yeah, I think Pereira in this fight needs to really throw leg kicks. I think Cyril Gane is going to be in the first rounds, because, by the way, guys, spoiler, I think this fight is going to last more than 3 rounds. So I think it will definitely go into round 3. I think for the first round, Cyril Gane will be bouncy. He will be catching Pereira with the jab, because it's very quick. He may even bloody up Pereira. But one thing about Pereira, other than Aspinall, Aspinall does not have striking defense. He gets caught all the time. He doesn't move his head efficiently. And Pereira is very reactionary. He fought against very speedy guys like Israel Adesanya, who is way quicker than Gane. Gane is kind of quick, and I think that Gane is not slower than a lot of light heavyweights. I think that he's on the same, like, going into throwing his jab and throwing the 1-2. I think that he's as fast as someone like Khalil Roundtree, who made the fight very difficult for Pereira and caught him a lot of times. The thing about Gane is, I don't think that he has like insane power. I think that Pereira actually has a good chin. He can get wobbled, but he recovers quick. And the last time he really got rocked was against Adesanya, where he just got clipped unexpectedly after being really weight trained. He had one of the roughest weight cuts in UFC history. Other than that, Pereira has a good chin. Gane doesn't have the best power, so I don't see Ciryl Gane actually KOing Pereira at all. I think Gane needs to... I don't even think he can submit him. I think Gane in this fight needs to win a decision. Now, do I trust Gane to win a decision in this fight? Ciryl Gane will be bouncy the first round on his feet. And I think that Pereira should take it slow and calf kick Ciryl Gane. Which is kind of hard because Gane has good defense also against kicks. But in the Volkov fight, Volkov did have a lot of success against Gane, also throwing kicks. And I think that Pereira will try to keep his distance, be reactionary to the jab. And in my opinion, guys, Pereira is one of the best kickboxers. The only reason that... I forgot his name already. Big Ank. The only reason that Big Ank won against Pereira, I think, in my opinion, there are instances where fighters are actually injured. There was the case where Peter Yan couldn't use his right hand in the first fight against Merab. And that is sometimes the case. I also think that in the first fight against Ankalaev, Pereira was actually injured. And that showed in the second fight where he just had no respect and immediately finished Ankalaev. And, not to forget, Ankalaev actually mixed up the clinch. He's very good in the clinch. He shot takedowns, even if he got some stuffed. Pereira kind of was, he needed to defend the takedowns against Ankalaev and watch out for his striking. And Ankalaev is actually elite, and I think that he is a better mixed martial artist than Gane. And Gane is not really a incredible counter-striker. He has counter-striking, but he's not elite at it. So I think in this fight, the fight is going to be competitive for the first 2 rounds. I think that the first round will be a feel-out round. Pereira will throw about 2 or 3 calf kicks where he connects. As I said, he may get caught with the jab, but Pereira is okay with getting caught with some jabs or maybe one quick 1-2. But I think he's going to stay on his feet. He's going to stand his base. And he's also going to land on Ciryl Gane. And I think that the kicks of Pereira will be the difference. Because Pereira against kicks, I don't think that Pereira will have any problems against the kicks of Gane. Because Gane's kicks are not really fast. They are powerful, but not fast. So yeah, I think that that's not going to be a problem against Pereira. He will check most of them. And I think in the second round, Pereira is going to have maybe throw a few more of these calf kicks. And then I think that Gane is not going to be as jumpy anymore. I think that Gane is going to slow down. He is going to force to just plod around the octagon, because that is what Ciryl Gane does. He is still reactionary and he has good boxing, so he can also just stay and not be in the karate stance and still do good. So I think that the end of the second round and then the third round is going to be them kind of exchanging and striking with each other. And I think that sometimes doing that, Gane is going to overextend with something, because Gane does overextend. He overextended against Jones. He overextended sometimes against Volkov, because if he can't just pick you apart, he tends to make mistakes, and I don't think that Pereira will really make mistakes the same. I think this is going to be kind of a slow-paced fight the first 2 rounds, but I ultimately think that in round 3 Pereira is going to take over. I think he's really going to hurt Ciryl Gane. And I think that ultimately, after the first round, Ciryl Gane, his leg will be chewed up, he will have eaten maybe some body shots because Pereira has sneaky body shots. I think he will be bloodied up, and I actually see Pereira finishing him in the 4th round. I think Ciryl Gane will be game for the first 3. But in my opinion, Pereira is just a better kickboxer, and in a kickboxing fight with, not to forget, Leatherman skill. Because in my opinion, Ciryl Gane at heavyweight kind of has Leatherman skill if you look at the striking and the way he bounces. But I think that Pereira is going to pick him apart. And yeah, I think for Pereira at heavyweight, the problem will be someone like Gane, but with power. I actually think that Tom Aspinall is a harder fight for Pereira in some ways than Ciryl Gane. Obviously, that's a different stylistic matchup. But I don't think that the takedown threat of Gane is going to be the same. And I think that if Gane is going to actively shoot against Pereira, I think that he's going to tire out because Pereira is just going to build up slowly, stay safe. And yeah, I don't think that Gane will beat Pereira. I think it could also be a close decision where Gane just has a really good performance. But I think Pereira's got this. I think he will pick apart Gane, finish him in the 4th. Even a decision, I favor Pereira. And yeah, I think he's going to be the new heavyweight champ. 3 belts. It's kind of a shame that it's not for the undisputed because it is the interim. So he technically does not have 3 belts. But let's be honest. He won the middleweight title, light heavyweight title. And I think that he's going to definitely win the heavyweight title against Gane. It's a pick'em, but I do think Pereira is going to get the job done. I like Pereira. I think he's going to have an insane legacy. I think he will fight Aspinall, but if not, if Aspinall is truly leaving the UFC, I hope that it is before this fight so it can be for the undisputed. But yeah, I have 6-7%. Sorry guys, I'm sorry. But yeah, Pereira by round 4 KO. Lock that in. Now guys, we have the main event of the White House card. Ilia Abduro Torturo, little midget of a thing, yeah? Against my boy, Justin Gaethje. You heard this right, guys. Justin Gaethje, maybe my favorite fighter in the UFC all the time. You know, my favorite fighters are McGregor. Usman is one of my favorites. Gaethje is really one of my favorites. Top 5 for sure. Again, I also like Volk and Oliveira, but Gaethje, I really love Gaethje. I love the way he fights, I love his highlights, I love his personality, and I like everything about Gaethje. He's kind of very unfortunate. He already had 2 title shots. He fought Oliveira for the for his second title shot. For his first title shot, he fought against Khabib, and what should he do against Khabib? It's just Khabib. And then you have Oliveira, who's also, he was riding an insane win streak, and Oliveira only lost to the elite in the last years. But yeah, he's facing 17-0 Ilia Topuria, who has insane knockout power. He knocked out in his last 3 fights Volk, Max Holloway, and Charles Oliveira. Guys, I don't look forward to this breakdown. But now, let's get into the breakdown. What does Ilia Topuria have? He has an insane ground game. So, I think that this fight is actually, we don't have to talk about the ground game because Justin Gaethje is not going to shoot takedowns. That is not something that Gaethje does. Maybe he will try to shoot, but guys, if he shoots a takedown against Topuria, I just think that Topuria is going to stuff it immediately, and I think he's going to laugh in the face of Justin Gaethje. Gaethje is not going to take down Topuria. He's not going to get taken down by Topuria either. I don't think that Topuria is actually trying to take down Gaethje. So I think that this fight, both of them are going to defend the takedowns, and I don't think either of them will actually shoot them. Now, Topuria is more dangerous than Gaethje, 100%. People talk about Gaethje being one of the hardest hitters, and I do agree. He has a lot of power, but he doesn't have one-shot knockout power in his hands, which is... No, he does have one-shot knockout power, but not like Topuria. Topuria is a one-shot KO guy. And after that, you don't move. After I hit people, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy? That is Topuria. I think that he has like the most insane power. He has better grappling, but like I said, that won't really play a part. But I think in this fight, Gaethje's only chance is maybe to calf kick and run. Calf kick and run. Like he did. He actually did this one time against Khabib, where he was so afraid of the takedown. He could just calf kick and run. And I think he's gonna like really spam the calf kicks against Topuria. Topuria is actually great at game planning though. He is great at game planning. He showed weaknesses against the calf kick when he was fighting Alexander Volkanovski. Volkanovski can compromise other people's legs because he has a sneaky calf kick. That is the difference. Alex Volkanovski has a sneaky calf kick, but the difference against Volk with Ilya is that Ilya does not have to fear power coming back from Volk. I think that he knew that, so he went after him immediately and just slammed him out. But yeah, I think in this fight, Topuria is gonna have some respect for Gaethje because he's gonna he knows he's the better striker technically, so he will try to leave it technical. I think that Topuria is not gonna pressure, he will wait. And I think that by just trying to counter and explode to catch Gaethje with that right hand, I think that Gaethje will try to land those calf kicks. Topuria is gonna try to check them or just move out the way, which will be possible. The thing is though, Gaethje tried the calf kick approach against Max Holloway. Max Holloway ate the calf kicks. Now, also against Alexander Volkanovski, Max Holloway also received a lot of leg kicks and he wasn't compromised. So Max Holloway maybe just has like crazy leg toughness. I don't know what to say it, but yeah, that it is going to be interesting because Justin Gaethje really tries to snap your leg in half with these calf kicks, and they could maybe bust up Topuria, but I don't think that Topuria is going to be someone who will just... Because he is heavy on that front leg, so he may get calf kicked. But I think that if he will get calf kicked, he's going to adjust because he's going to be prepared. He knows that the calf kick will come. And he probably knows that is Gaethje's like maybe only chance to beat him. But I'm going to say something, that I think that even if Gaethje compromises the leg of Topuria and actually damages his calves, I think that Topuria is still going to get the KO. And yeah, it is not impossible for Gaethje to win. He has to stay safe on the feet, calf kick, maybe force Topuria to take chances and then catch him. But Gaethje gets caught in every fight, and with the power of Topuria, I think Gaethje will get hurt. It's gonna be interesting. I'm thinking about the way how Gaethje gets finished. I think he will actually get hurt, stung on the feet, and I think that Topuria will slam him out. And I don't want it to happen. I really don't want to. Like, when Topuria wasn't champ and Gaethje was supposed to get his title shot, but stepped in at UFC 300, Gaethje should have got a title shot against Makhachev, which wouldn't have got. At least then, he wouldn't have gotten finished as bad. I think against Makhachev, he would just have gotten submitted. I fear for his health, man. I don't want Gaethje to get slammed out badly, but I think that it's inevitable. I can see a world where Gaethje gets dropped and Topuria jumps on him. Gaethje turns his back and he gets submitted. That is why, guys, watch out if you bet Topuria by KO. He could also submit him because on Joe Rogan's podcast, Topuria said that if you're an MMA fighter, you try to win by any means possible. So if Gaethje presents the neck, he's gonna finish him. And I actually think that Topuria can also submit Gaethje. But yeah, to make it short, Gaethje has to have a perfect performance where he doesn't really get hit. Calf kicks and runs. Maybe he hits the perineal nerve of Gaethje. If you don't know what that is when O'Malley fought Chito Vera and he got his nerve kicked, I think that's the only chance Gaethje has, and I think Gaethje could catch him. He has power, but Topuria has a good chin. I don't think he will get dropped by Gaethje, and even if he gets dropped, Gaethje will just run a dumb finish because Gaethje does not have good finishing instincts when he actually drops his opponent. So I think Topuria maybe doesn't face any adversity. He just slimes out Gaethje. He could also face adversity, but if he faces adversity, gets rocked or gets his calves busted up, I still think that he's gonna recover and beat Gaethje. And one thing that is inevitable is that Gaethje gets rocked in this fight. And I actually will pick Topuria by a rear naked choke submission in the second round. I think in the second round. I think Gaethje will maybe win the first round, which is insane. I think that I'm gonna get pranked. Gaethje is gonna throw calf kicks, stay safe, maybe, shell up with his guard up, throw leg kicks and maybe throw some jabs, but not really enter the brawling range of Topuria. But yeah, I think Gaethje is gonna get submitted in the second round. Yeah, sad to see. If Gaethje actually gets it done, guys, I'm gonna be the happiest guy ever. I'm gonna be so happy. This would genuinely, this would just make my year, obviously. If Gaethje pulls his off and retires, that would be one of my my favorite moment in UFC history. So yeah, maybe let a young guy dream, but I don't think it's gonna happen. As for a parlay, guys, we have Diego Lopez against Garcia. I see a lot of people picking Garcia by outstriking Diego Lopez. And I have a hot take here. I think Diego Lopez is a better striker than Garcia. Garcia slimes out these lower level opponents. But who is more experienced at the top? Who fought better strikers? What do you think happens when Garcia faces Volk or Gene Silva? In my opinion, he actually gets slapped by both of them. I think Volk would even put him out after some rounds of back and forth. So I think Diego Lopez is going to catch Garcia on the feet. And then I think he's going to submit him. As easy as that. I think it's going to be Alexa Grasso. I think he's going to catch Garcia with an overhand. And I think that he's going to jump on the back and submit him. So yeah. For parlay, Diego Lopez by finish. Or just put Diego Lopez moneyline. Because he can even out-grapple Steve Garcia for the whole fight and win a damage-based decision. But yeah, Diego Lopez moneyline, or I would say finish. I would bet on him to get a finish because it's the White House card, and he's gonna want to make a statement after losing against Volk. And not looking the best, but it's Volk, so yeah. Then we have Bo Nickel. I would maybe stay away from these fights, but I do think that Bo Nickel is gonna get it done, and I think that Bo Nickel is actually gonna win a decision in this fight. Roughy KO. Nothing to say here. Hockey KO. I don't think he's gonna submit Derrick Lewis because Hockey doesn't go for submissions really. But I think that Hockey is gonna slime out Derrick Lewis in the first round. Please should they take down Hockett. Please should they take down. Don't get fluked by Derek Lewis. I would hate that so bad if you got fluked. But yeah, Hockett by KO. Then Sean O'Malley. I think it would be insane if he got a KO. I think that the only time he can get a KO is in the third round, because I think that even if Ayman Zahabi gets hurt, we've seen him recover quickly. We've seen him being very tough. And yeah, I think that Sean O'Malley is ultimately gonna win a very clear decision, 30-26, winning every round. And I think that it will be a 10-8 in the third, but Sean O'Malley does not have the best finishing instincts, and I think it's gonna be a lot of dropping. So yeah, Sean O'Malley, take that on the money line. Alex Pereira. Now this is where there has not been like insane value in any of these picks, except maybe something like Bo Nickel decision or something like that. Or maybe Sean O'Malley decision, there is also some value, but I don't think there will be a lot of value. Now Pereira against Gane. Guys, take Pereira by KO. Take Pereira moneyline, because Gane never actually got KO'd. And he, but you have to say something. Gane never fought a striker like Pereira. That is something you have to remember, because he fought Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou's shots are telegraphed, so Gane could easily slip them. Pereira is a lot faster and a lot more. He's a way better striker than Gane. And Gane and Aspinall are the same in the sense that they are both just powerful punchers who can knock you out, but if you have good defense, you won't get knocked out. Pereira is actually an incredible striker with Leatherman skill. So I think Pereira could get Gane out of there in the 4th or 5th round. But just take the Pereira moneyline, because the value is great in that. If not, look at the odds. Maybe pick Pereira by a KO over 3.5 rounds. I like that. Maybe that bet. But yeah. The only value you can get on this is Topuria by submission. The odds could be good, but I don't think Gaethje is going to win, sadly. But yeah, guys, I actually remember, I think that the White House card is going to be going down this Sunday. And for me, as you can see, main card starts at 2 a.m. But guys, there is no way in hell that I'm going to miss this fight card. So I don't work yet. I go to uni. So I'm going to go to uni on 3 hours of sleep. But who cares? This is an insane card. I love this card. I am very much looking forward to this card. But hey guys, let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, well, obviously I'm just gonna do my predictions each time. But if you want to see other different. Sorry for my English sometimes, guys, but no, I'm not actually from America or something. I'm just from Luxembourg, so I can speak actually 4 languages, but English is not my main language. So yeah, but yeah, if you want to see other videos, maybe leave a like, subscription, and a comment on what you want to see. But yeah, have a great rest of the day. If you are seeing this at night, have a great night, and I see you guys in the next video. Peace.